All right, we are here for Kagurabachi, chapter 128, Smelting, part 3. Will there be a part 4? Will there be a part 5? Actually, yeah, wait. Based off the chapter, it's probably part 4. Maybe move into a different part of the process by part 5. So maybe it's something else. Um, but how do you like these titles? Pretty
I
simple.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the simplicity of it. Like whenever there's a big chapter, he'll obviously one name it, but sometimes he's just like, you know what, this is just part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6. It
Yeah.
reminds me of JJK.
Yeah, pretty simple, straightforward. Um, but yeah, just like how Hokazono doesn't want us to keep our eyes off the smelting, Rokuhira can't look away either. And so we get the fight that between the Masumi and Urita. And but Urita's tired. That's something that we failed to calculate in when we talked about it. But something we were discussing is whether his doppelgangers are good fighters, and he confirms it. They are not. That would be so OP, but they aren't fighters. And he says, "Joji, you take that one." Um, and then it seems like he's acknowledging that his eyes is like there's the smoke from the shurikens that he blocked, and then his eyes are he has one eye, and despite his lack of sight, he's able to predict that the Masumi are going after the air pipes that are fueling the fire to the furnace. He blocks that, breaks the blades, and we get a little bit about katanas and how they're vulnerable sideways force, which I already knew. I watch enough anime to see that one coming. But they realize that they're not going to be able to put out the fire anyways, and that's when the girl Masumi goes from outside to inside, and she's undetected, and she's right on Kunishige's neck. And yeah, we got the whole sequence of fighting, and we got to that point. What do you think about that?
She's fast.
Yeah, outside, inside, quickly, very quickly.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder how. Like, is she just fast, or is it like one of those things where she teleported?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it said that they're on a whole different level. They're virtually undetectable. Do you think she's the
Yeah.
strongest one?
Um, strongest. I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't mind if she was, but I
Uh,
feel like all the Masumi are kind of like on the same level.
yeah. Um, yeah. And then we get it reinstated about Kunishige, about how he's a nobody with nothing to lose. For someone like him to ignore the country's decision and risk disaster and also ignore Princess Chiaki's own decisions, he's just desperate to be the big hero who rescues her. And that characterization is wrong, right? What do you think, Sai?
Wait, about what?
About this assessment of Kunishige, where he says he's just desperate to be the
Oh,
big
that he's a
hero who
nobody.
rescues her. Yeah, the characterization there.
Yeah, I'd say it's right more or less. I mean, that's kind of just what he is, right?
Yeah, it's rough.
It sounds harsh, but I mean, it's true. Like he does want to be the hero. He does want to be the guy that saves Shiaki. He's
Yeah.
got nothing to lose. He comes from nobody. Like I mean, that's just what he is. Like they're not like saying things that aren't true to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we know Kunishige as the hero, but to become a hero, you got to start from zero in a way.
Yeah. From their point of view, they're not looking to create heroes. They're trying to save like everybody, like the whole. But the thing is, it's hard to believe in heroes. Heroes don't come from it's hard to manufacture a hero. But everything that he's saying, it's like this is how you manufacture a hero. He's looking to become a big hero. He's even saying it. But like you said, it was hard to read that because it's like he's not wrong, but also it's like what's wrong with that? He wants to be the big hero. The question is, does he have the ability? No one has assessed his ability. Their ability assessment is going off of that he's a nobody and he comes from nobody. And is that the proper way to assess somebody? I don't think so, right? I think that's ultimately where Japan and the conversation around Japan's politics, they rely on the Soga, they rely on the Kagari or whatever, and they rely on all these people with pedigree. And you know, at the end of the day, is that the way the merit should be earned through pedigree or like family pedigree, or you know, should there be a certain allowance for people to earn their place? And you know, it goes to say, I wonder where Sheba comes from, right? Are they going to tell us that Sheba comes from a lineage of crazy assassins? Like, it doesn't feel like it right now. It doesn't feel like he has the family backing, considering he ends up, you know, the guard of the Soga clan. But you know, it seems like Japan isn't without their heroes in the first place. So it's interesting that that's the perspective. But that is ultimately, you know, how Japan has succeeded so thus far. Princess Chiaki's decisions and relying on the Soga clan in general for their superpowers and their pedigree. So, and the Gagari clan and all this stuff. So much so that they're relying on a 1 year old child, a theoretical, hypothetical 1 year old child, one that hasn't even, you know, giving birth is hard in the first place. Raising a child is hard in the first place. Getting them up to 1 years old, that's a feat in and of itself. Anybody who's able to do that, it's pretty hard. Kids can just, there's a thing called SIDS, just sudden death. It happens. It's a thing, and it goes down up until like 1 to 2 years. So, but nonetheless, Japan would like to bet on that pedigree of the bone tamers, no, the beast tamers. So there's that. But yeah, the Masumi ends up transitioning us back into the real spark that we must put out, which is Kunishige, and we see that the sword's on his neck, and it flashes back, which we expected to happen, but it flashed back to the same moment, and it's a reflection about how Kunishige froze in that second there. He couldn't do anything as my legs turned to jelly. That day was the reason I started making katanas. And that's something that I was curious about. If we'd go back to like the moment when he started making his first katanas, or when he started making them again, or became a blacksmith, all that stuff. And it seems like that moment was the moment. He said he needed to face his demons. I knew there was something, so I threw myself into it. Um, and it gives us a little bit about something that we kind of already knew with Chiaki. She would always make meals for him. She saw him, uh, you know, took care of him, and didn't blame him for the cut. Though we didn't get the context of whether she found out that about her dad, his dad. Um, but the culmination of we kind of flash back a little bit back to Smelting again. Um, it was that the entire reason why the Enchanted Blade project was rejected was actually Princess Chiaki, her vision, and how it would be dangerous to smelt, which is why she said that they shouldn't do it, because she didn't want to risk Kunishige. And so in that instance, she wants to protect him. He wants to protect himself. He doesn't want people to protect him. Um, but we don't really see the whole katana stuff. I have a question for you, Sai. How
What's up?
lengthy of like how many swords do you think he's made? Like it doesn't sound like he's made too many, but it seems like his motivations are he wants to stand up for himself. He wants to find like value in him like living beyond you know, Chiaki protecting him all the time. How many swords do you think he made?
He's actually told us he's made over
Oh.
200.
Wait, he told us? When did he tell us?
It was when he was first introduced to Subaru.
Oh, I forgot that. Dang, he made 200 swords, and but he probably didn't sell all of them. He probably kept a few, or 200 swords. I wonder how much that makes him. Because up until now he's been living off of his dad, but now I guess with when he starts the blacksmithing, he you
Yeah,
know,
here, let me see. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Chapter 115. Um, Subaru shakes his hand and he says, or he asks, "How many katana have you forged?" And then Kunishige says, "Total, a little over 200, I'd say."
mhm, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because he says that all I could do was keep forging katana. Face my demons? No, the truth was it was all I had. Like, so he was making these swords and feeling shamed because it felt like that was all he could do, and it was something that was given to him and curated by his dad, who he didn't exactly admire as a whole. Because his dad drove his mom over the edge and all that stuff, and his dad's was technically what wounded Chiaki, and so he was ashamed to make those swords and the process of making those swords. But and he says, in the end, I've never managed to protect a single person I care about, and that's kind of what's different here. Him making this katana with the Datsenseki is different. The entire notion of what he's doing at the moment could protect Chiaki, and that's a whole different motivation field. And we see that he doesn't take his eyes off. We see that he's locking in, and that's what the Masumi's essentially seeing. Is even now he's still focused on, um, the thing. But then that's when the chapter doesn't let you even take a breather, because at that moment, like, I thought, do you remember what I said would happen last conversation, Sai?
What'd you say?
I said, what if we get a shonen moment where Kunishige is super focused and the Masumi's all amazed? They're like, oh my god, even in the face of death, he's still locked in. How could we possibly kill him? I said it would be super shonen. And like, that's what I thought at that page. Even now, he's still focused on. And she says out loud, does this matter more than your life? And I was like, oh my god, we're getting it. We're getting the moment. They're going to do the shonen thing. And then zoop, Sheba shows up with the other shonen thing, which is he gets up with a mouth, jaw covered in blood. And he goes, all of you, sheesh. Why won't you quit getting in the way like some zombie? How did you feel when Sheba showed back up?
I was surprised, dude. You know, Sheba, he's not looking too good, right? Like he is
Yeah.
at like 1% HP, yet he's up. He's up and at it. I don't know how the hell he's going to survive next week. Granted, I don't think they're trying to kill him, so maybe he'll be fine in that regard. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, he's essentially teleporting all of the Masumi out of there. Like, he starts with the girl, and then he just gets the other two guys at the end. And it's like, yo, dude, guys, can we, like, help him? Like,
Yeah.
he's out there by himself. He's going, like, 1v3.
Yeah, which is crazy because like the Masumi are not detectable, but Sheba's on another level, bro, and she acknowledges the level that he has to reach to even match what they're doing. And she's like, he's starting all the way down here. I saw his medical charts from Hiroshima. It's got to be agonizing for him to even breathe, let alone stand. You're gonna kill yourself. And Sheba says, so what? And we get a not a flashback, but like a cutaway to I forgot his name. What's his name again? The one that was on the squad. Ma- uh Not Masu
Mashiro.
Mashiro. I knew it started with an M. Um yeah, Mashiro. So what do you think that was about? The so what? Her linking it back? Do you think that they're related? Is that what that is?
Oh, no, I think that was Sheba thinking about that.
Oh, that was Sheba saying. Okay, I thought that was her hearing
Yeah.
his words again. Like, it's kind of interesting. In the panel, they have a voided text box. Um, it's like they copied and pasted the panel and not the actual drawing. But at least from what I see. But yes, the so what? Oh, that's an interesting thing. It was Sheba thinking back the so what. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a guy crush a ship into a ball, even with a hole in his stomach. That's fair. That's fair. He did see much crazier feats. This is like she's just like when he got back from Hiroshima, she's talking about Hiroshima like it's Vietnam. And the truth is, to them, it kind of was. He's the lone survivor. He came back and he saw some crazy things. And I guess what culminated out of all that was grit. But like you said, the story doesn't stop. The Masumi realize that the girl Masumi gets ejected, and Kunoshige is still locked in, and not even a second breather while these guys are jumping at and trying to behead straight up behead him, and Subaru can't react, nobody can react, but Sheba can. This guy, and then he has the audacity to say, Rokihira, this time you take the glory. What do you mean you take the glory? Sheba's out here the MVP of every
dude.
yeah, he's the MVP of every story that he's in. And he's spitting up blood and he teleports them away. We see the Fu, they're out. Which is interesting because it doesn't do much, right? In reality, in the grand scheme of things, they're just outside. Sheba didn't teleport them that far. It's just enough for Kunishige to do something, I guess. But in reality, they're a few seconds away still. Technically.
It's funny because like in that final page, you can actually see Subaru trying to run over to help him,
Yeah, yeah.
but he's just too slow, man.
Yeah, he's too slow, but Sheba's not. Sheba's the Irishima vet. And he's just like, I fought gods at this point. This is nothing. You guys are just mortals. Yeah, again, Sheba's there's a reason I've always loved Sheba in Act 1. And now Act 2's made me love him even more. But we end this chapter with Kunishige taking the torch, saying on it, which is essentially what he was doing at the start of the chapter. He hasn't moved an inch. His eyes haven't moved an inch. What do you think happens next chapter? Does he move an inch?
I mean, he moves an inch probably to just like forge the blade, I would say.
Yeah.
I think next chapter is just gonna be a Kunishige chapter.
Okay. Okay. And Sheba, do you think Sheba's still gonna fight the three of them, the three Masumi?
Yes and no. I feel like Subaru and Joji are gonna go outside.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think Joji and Subaru, the main body of Subaru, I think the clones stay in here to help Kunishige.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna turn into a 3v3 outside.
3v3 outside. That's cool. Do you think that there's more aid to Subaru, more aid to Sheba? Do you think there's more contenders on the way?
If there is support, it's probably gonna be Akimura.
Oh, I like that. Okay. What?
Yeah, if
Okay.
Akimura catches wind that there's a plan to save Chiaki, I think he's gonna go for it. It just depends how
Oh,
much he knows. Like, why would he know
yeah.
about this unless his sister told him or unless he like heard it through the grapevine? I think
Right.
him showing up would be like the greatest ally.
Right, right. No, I love that. That I was wondering, I'm like, I feel like the childhood flashback, like maybe they bring back what's his name? Uh the other guy,
Azami.
Azami. I gotta be more confident. I knew it was Azami, but I was thinking about it. What's his shorthand? Zo? No.
What do you mean?
Like they call him something like one syllable, right? So like
I don't know. Oh, you're thinking about Sochan.
Sochan. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was getting
Because
mixed up with.
his name is Soichiro Azami
Yeah, yeah.
or
Um,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah, I was wondering if like if he would show up, but he hasn't shown up in the flashback either. It was just Sheba. It would be interesting if he showed up. Because they did talk about how like why are they invested in this? It's because they're close to Chiaki. It'd be cool if they brought in all the people that's close to Chiaki. But Akamura is a good one, because who are the people invested in saving Chiaki? Those are the people who should show up. I think you're right. I think Akamura, or not you're right, but I think if someone were to show up, Akamura would be a very cool option. This chapter is very quick in the grand scheme of things because it's a fight chapter. But I think next chapter we probably get a lot more fighting. But the problem is Sheba's not capable, I don't think, of an extended fight. So that's where it's like, what's there to stall out for Kunishige to do the rest? And if it's Subaru, he's already demonstrated that he's not exactly capable to take on all three of them, let alone one of them. And then Joji, I don't think that he's capable of a 1v1. So if it's a 3v3, I think Sheba can carry, but like he's not like capable of an extended
Yeah.
fight. So then it's like outside options. If we're talking about a chessboard, it seems like Shiba's side needs some aid. That's when we get Akamura, and that'd be crazy. That would be nuts. How much? What percentage you point? What percentage points would you put on Akamura showing up?
Oh, like 10.
10%.
I'm not super high on it. Yeah.
What
I think
about?
Akemura showing up would be really dope,
Yeah.
but I'm not super high on it. Azami, I'd give it a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go for like,
How much was it? It cut out a little bit.
I'd go for 50.
50%. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then we didn't really get introduced to anybody else in the Sorcery Bureau that'd be like compassionate in this moment and give Kunishige. He has nobody. He has no family backing. His mom's dead. His dad's dead. He does. It's not like he has clients that care about him. It's not like a village is gonna show up. Uh, he's lived alone. Like I'm trying to think about all the options, but everything that the story has told us is Kunishige is a lone wolf who befriended like these other wolves, and these other wolves have fangs, but they like to put the entire weight of it, like to say these lines, this time you take the glory, and then if the extended fight is held by Sheba, I just don't know what to think about that. So I feel like the chances of Akimura showing up are probably, I would put it higher. I put 50% there. And maybe Azami, because he wasn't mentioned in the flashback besides the very beginning of the flashback. So like maybe like a 30%. I feel like Akimura is more weightful here. Because then it would be like, why is he his best friend, right? Because that's another part. Um we didn't really get a cultivation of him being best friends with Akimura yet, right?
Yeah. We saw Azami a couple times already.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, we could pass the torch over to good old Akimura. I'm always down with that.
Yeah. Well, correct me if I'm wrong.
We got
It's
to flesh him out more.
Akimura who said that they were best friends. No, wait, it was Kunishige who told that the Sword Saint and them were best friends or good friends.
They didn't say best friends. They said that Kunishige trusted Akimura the most.
Right. Right. Yeah, and so that, even that, if you take that much, then where does that come from? And if it's in this moment where he saves Sheba and allows him to make the sword, that would be pretty. I would trust if somebody showed up and I'm Kunishige and they saved the day like that. I'm trusting them now. From now on, it's like I trust you. I so honestly, stocks are going up for me. I think Akamura showing up might be like 75%. If there was a moment in Kunishige's life to give someone trust, this is the moment. If he didn't show up any other time in the past, right? Because he loves Chiaki, and we know why he loves Chiaki. She showed up in his life where his mom wasn't there, his dad wasn't there. That's where Chiaki fits in. Why is he such good friends with Sheba? Sheba showed up in a moment where Chiaki could have died. Sheba showed up and believed in him at this moment where he stole the Datenseki and all that stuff and allowed him to give him an opportunity. That makes sense. So why does he trust Akimura more than the others? I think that it would make sense that he shows up next chapter. He shows up here and he fights off maybe not next chapter, but he shows up against the Masumi and he fights off the Masumi. That'd be kind of nuts. I think Nah, I'm gonna give the full sauce to you, Sai. I think Akamura, you start off at a 10%. I'm bringing that up. I'm bringing it up to an 80%. And I could be alone there, and that's fine. But in the comments, let me know if you like that idea, because that I kind of like that a lot.
Oh yeah, I said bring
Yeah.
in the backup, dude. I'm always down for it.
Yeah.
Um, or we could just stay with who we have here too, and it just sticks. It just stays as a 3v3.
Yeah. I'm
But then
trying to.
again, if Subaru wants to like stay in here, that'd be nice too. But
Yeah. Yeah, because realistically, the only person left that on Chiaki's side, besides Azami, would be Akamura. And we had that whole thing about Hiroto's brother. He's now the family head, right? And he's the one who signed off
yeah,
on giving Chiaki. So it's not like the Soga clan shows up for Chiaki. And literally the Sorcerer Bureau's against him. Everyone's against them. Japan's against this. So who's against Japan right now in Act One? Nakamura. So yeah, kind of the shoe fits. It fits more ways than one. The glove fits, the shoe fits, the shirt fits. The only thing left are the pants. Are the pants big enough for Akamura to fit in? And we did see him blitz the Soga clan, the top tier of the Soga clan. So if like that was the last thing that we saw of Akamura, so it could be that now it's to show him off against the Masumi. And it's like Sheba's down, Sheba like breathes his last breath, and then he looks up and he sees the back. Oh my god, I'm painting this picture right now. He sees the back and he's like, Hiroto? And then no, his eyes like clear up and it's Akamura and he's like, Akamura? What? But it's like what the other guy saw, the other Soga clan member, he was like Hiroto. So it might be something like that. Like Shiba sees
Yeah.
Hiroto in him. Dude, I'm going up to 85% now.
You're just talking yourself up. No, no, trust me. I'm a Akemura fan. I want him here too. I feel you, brother.
Yeah, I think more. We might even cut away from these whole chapter smelting part 4. We might just get Akamura appears. We might just get that, the new hero, the hero of the new generation, something like that. Some
If we
big.
do dedicate it to the fight, I feel like it'd be like half-half.
Mhm.
Like half of it's fight, the other half is like the smelting. Because
Yeah,
Hokuzono has been very like in depth with like all the processes or
yeah,
processes for swordsmithing. So I do think that we're gonna see a lot of this. Like he's not gonna like like skip
off
over it where
screen.
like, oh, the next time we see Kunishige, he walks out with the sword. I feel like we're gonna spend a lot of meaningful time with this. He's building this shit up.
You know, if Akamura shows up, it could shift another prediction that you had, that the sword that Kunishige makes right now is the one for Subaru. If Akamura is the one who shows up, then Magatsumi, right, would be the one to be made right now. And it would make sense because his emotions are heightened and this is the first try and he's thinking about Chiaki while he's making the blade and it's like a flower. Oh yeah, Chiaki's like a flower to him. Oh, there's like romance all in this. Do you think that's possible that he mates the Magatsumi right now?
No, I don't think so.
Damn. Damn, there goes that idea.
You can
Not
still believe
even
in the idea. I'm not Hokuzono. I mean, it could still happen. I just feel like the Magatsumi is not yet.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be later.
Okay. Okay. I was just thinking that like if Akamura does show up, then making a sword for him and then he defeats the Masumi and then they believe in the blade and stuff. Like basically what the conversation we had last chapter about Subaru, substitute Subaru for Akamura, substitute the sword for Magatsumi, and then substitute the enchanted blade whole like belief thing with a new Soga clan superhero. You know? It's this is now the new
Yeah,
Hiroto, and he
I
shows
think.
up and he kills. No, he doesn't kill the entire Soga clan. That would be crazy.
Yeah,
But you know,
I think what's gonna happen is that it's just gonna be a prototype. It's not gonna be anybody's specific blade.
okay, okay. I mean, you can always reforge too. That'd be kind of cool if one of the blades was reforged from the prototype, and then
Yeah, we don't
that,
know how much Daten. I mean, we know how much Datenseki they have, but we don't know
yeah,
how much Datenseki is needed for each blade. So there's a chance that this is only enough for a prototype, and then they have to go steal more later.
yeah.
Like we saw that giant piece of ore, but like to craft like the 6 blades, is that enough?
I don't know.
I think right now we're just gonna see a prototype, and the person who's gonna use it, I think might just be Joji.
Joji, does he even sword, bro? Does he
Yeah,
even?
he swords. The thing is with Joji is that we had him in the beginning of this flashback, and he was the one who first tested out Subaru's blade.
Uh,
So yeah, so Subaru threw like a pencil at him. Joji cut it in half, and then Subaru said, "Hey, you're decent with the blade. Come over here." And then Joji Subaru's blade, and then he's like, "Yo, like this is crazy." I think it'd be fun if Joji again was the same person who used like this new blade, and he's just like the certified sword tester at this point.
yeah.
Like whenever you want to show the difference in blades, you just use Joji. And since he
Okay.
had like since he actually touched Subaru's blade, he knows that what that's like.
Yeah.
him touching the enchanted blade could kind of like show us like, oh shit, like this is even crazier than what I tested out a week ago.
He just goes insane. He's holding a nuclear weapon, a prototype. And he's like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god, yeah, that's interesting." Yeah, didn't he like have like a vision of his arm getting cut off? Wasn't that
that
something
was
there?
somebody else.
That was somebody
But yeah,
else.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was it the guy in this chapter? Let me see.
Was it? Joji was
Scroll,
present for
scroll,
that though, right?
scroll. Yeah. Joji unsheathed the blade, and then the guy felt his arm get cut off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
it's not the guy in the chapter, but yeah, it was chapter 115.
115. Let me see this. See this from my own eyes. Um, I'm Subaru Urita. Thank you for having us. So he wears two hats, swordsmith and sushi chef. He's also a certified master of the sand and bone one blade style. That's three hats. Um, yeah. And then I see, yeah, Joji cut it with like not really sheathing the thing, but the pencil is stuck into the wall. Very crazy. Yeah, and then Joji takes out the thing and then the guy thinks his arm gets lopped off. Crazy. Um Yeah, you're right. Joji would make sense. We sent the perfect guy to to verify, certify the blade. So having him do that all in one swoop could make sense. Um, so I guess the other question would just be how many more chapters of smelting? Do you think like smelting? We're at part 3, so you think we get to a part 4, and then do we change up from smelting in part 5, or do you think we get a part 5? What do you think?
I think it'll go to 5 at least.
5 at least. Okay.
Yeah, I think we have 2 more chapters here.
Okay. Interesting.
Ooh,
But what are the steps of blacksmithing a steps of blacksmithing uh katana? Is like smelting like is that for we have isn't there like I don't know quenching and folding and forging and there's a lot of and then polishing. There's a lot of like steps that are at play. Smelting is I think the first step. So
yeah, he's still at the first step.
yeah. So like we might get like a folding and purifying step. If correct me if I'm wrong. This is coming from Demon Slayer, but there's like a whole like they have to like sand it down too and like kind of use a stone to carve out the blade side and sharpen it. He has to do a lot before we get to a blade. Like he's gonna make a pole first, essentially, and then he
Yeah.
has to hammer
If you
it.
just like Google it, it says it takes about 1 to 3 months to forge a fully fledged katana.
Yeah,
1 to 3
attrition
months to like finish it.
takes
So,
weeks or
like
months.
I said,
Yeah.
whatever we use here, like whatever blade Kunishige gets, it's literally going to be like the bare minimum. Like just a trial run to show that hey, this is worth dedicating time to.
Yeah.
Because that's all we need. Like we don't have to make like a Magatsumi right away. We don't have to make, the other blades like the Kumiyuri. It literally just has to be a blade that is stronger than usual.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll show like the higher ups at the sorcery bureau, like, hey, like invest your money, invest your time. This is the way to do it.
Yeah.
And then that's probably why, this time process, right? 1 to 3 months per katana ish. That's why it takes a year for us to actually get these blades and go to war.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I was almost thinking like, dang, the Masumi came little too early. I feel like they need to interrupt later on, like a week from now. Like,
Hey,
'cause-
we don't deal with those conveniences here. We gotta. It's a little bit less convenient than other shonens. Like we gotta keep it realistic. They're hunting down the Datenseki. That's the trigger for the war. We need this shit ASAP. They
yeah,
gotta come early.
yeah, but like now I'm thinking that Akamura got to hold off the Masumi and more for mad long, because like, yeah, I mean the bare minimum. I'm looking at these steps, bro. Like second step, folding and purifying. You have to stack the sorted steel pieces, heat them in a forge, hammer them. I know this part. So by then you have like a stack of metal that's like super thick, and you have to hammer it like super thin and get the impurities out. And so it's like if we're waiting for him to do all of that just to get a blade, we're waiting until step like 4. Oh no, step 3 is forging the blade shape. Heat the layer steel block, hammer it into a long, rough blade strip, hammer the point to form a tip, and then refine the bevel. So we need the forging process. We're at smelting, we need the purifying, and then we need the forging. I think we need at least that step to get the blade shape, and then Akumura wields the blade, or Joji sees the blade. But the question mark is like, okay, the Masumi go over there, and it's like day 2 now. I'm sure the Sorcery Bureau sends more over. Do you think that there's a bigger battle at hand than we think? It's not a 3v3. Like, it ends up being like Soga versus his clan. Like, not
Yeah, I mean,
Akamura
it could
versus
be a
clan.
thing where, yeah, it could be a thing where like we skip over. It's like, hey, like a month has passed, and then we go outside, and it's just Akimura standing in like a pile of dead bodies or knocked out bodies.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That would be crazy. I'm just like, because like you said, Hokazono's being kind of particular about like the process of making a blade. This is a blacksmithing series first and foremost, and so and we were getting the timeline. Like we were getting, what, I forget what day it was, like March 28th. We were getting like 5 p.m. We were getting time updates. If we're keeping to the time of blacksmithing, there's no way they finish a blade in a day. So then the fighting or whatever stalling process needs to be like at least, I would say, 3 days. I don't think that's fair, like an accurate, timeline. But 3 days, we get an extended fight. Maybe there's more to it, because like at the end of the day, Kunishige ends up becoming a household name. Maybe it starts here. Maybe it starts from here, where all the clans, they some for some reason gather, and they're like, what are we do, like, we're trying to get the Dachinseki, and we need to get past Sheba, Akamura, and like they just can't, and they're like, why are they dying to fight here? And it gets to a point where like every stroke, if they, oh, you know what it might be, it might be the thing I said last time. Once he starts hammering away, if they stop him, the Dachinseki might explode. That's what they tell him. So then they just can't stop him. Maybe that's what it is. Once he gets to a certain step, they kind of just have to let him rock. Maybe that's the other way to look at it. I don't know though. It's kind of hard. If we're taking real blacksmith timeline into play, these chapters are kind of hard to organize.
Yeah, again, it really depends on like how soon they want to use this blade. I don't think they need a finished product.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell, man, at this point now after my intense research of blacksmithing, I think we just need a pipe. We just need a stick, bro. We just need a show that he can make Dachinseki into a shape. I don't need a blade. I just need a shape, like a rod coming out of a hilt. And they're like, okay, that's something. That is, we didn't think that, because like the thing is, now they think about it, Chiaki said the smelting would be dangerous. She didn't say anything else. So like maybe he just needs to prove that he needs to get past the smelting for the enchanted blade process to go enchanted blade project to get approved, because Chiaki said the smelting would be dangerous. She didn't say the forging. She didn't say the other parts would be dangerous. So maybe that's generally what it is. They're just trying to stop him from smelting because they think that he's about to blow up the whole town. But once he gets past the smelting, they're like, oh shit, maybe we can do the Enchanted Blade project. Huh. Yeah, maybe it's just getting past the smelting. It's as simple as that, which could be next chapter, could be 2 chapters from now. Um, huh. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
wonder what else the Bossby has, like, not in store, but like, I wonder what their orders are. Like, I wonder if they had that stipulation, like, hey, if the smelting's done though, like, let us know.
Yeah.
Tell us about that one, and then just come back home and just we'll give this some reconsiderations.
Yeah. I mean, hey, the Masumi did hesitate. She had the chance to behead Kunishige and she didn't. She hesitated off of his focus. She drew blood. She did cut his neck, but she, you know, um to say that they're running through the mission without any delays wouldn't be the full truth. So maybe there is something that like they uh you know like a stipulation, like you're saying, like maybe there is a very particular order that they were told. Maybe it's something like that, like a super anime thing. Like, hey, we were told to stop the smelting. we there was nothing about forging a blade stopping. Say if we're past the smelting, then our orders are done. Maybe it's semantics. That would also kind of be a shonen thing too. A little semantics play here, but it'd be kind of
Yeah.
silly. Um, but still shonen nonetheless. Um, but yeah, let's see. We'll see what glory Kunishige has, because now he has to show off he has to strut his stuff here, because this whole series is centralized around blacksmithing. And the chapter titles are centralized around it. The swords are centralized around it, and Sheba's passing the torch. So do you think we're gonna get like Death Note level of dramatizing the blacksmithing? Like we get like panel, like you said, like half panels. Do you think it's gonna like set us up for like the something that will be animated for and like used for generations? You know what I mean? Like, you know how Death Note, everyone always like whenever someone brings up like dramatizing writing, they always put the Death Note gifs. Do you think we're gonna get something like that out of this?
I mean, it could. I mean, the animation quality is super high. I can see
Yeah,
that being the case.
generational stuff right here. I feel like Sheba's already showing us generational stuff. But yeah, yeah. Anything else you want to talk about with this chapter, Sai?
No, I think we pretty much covered all the bases.
Yeah, this is like One Piece. It
It's
was
a
pretty
really
quick.
straightforward chapter.
Yeah, just like One Piece's was. Um,
Yeah.
I would say,
And then we should be having a break next week, yeah? Magazine break.
oh yeah, damn. Even
Yeah, so
Kagurabachi's
next
on
week,
break.
no chapter.
Dang, guys. If you miss us, if you guys will miss us, let us know in the comments. If you guys miss these peripheral visions with
You don't have to do
Sai.
that, guys. Save
Yeah.
yourself the embarrassment.
Save yourself the embarrassment. I mean, every once in a while, once we come back and we post these, people are like, yo, we're back. And I appreciate those comments. So um don't feel too embarrassed to show up at least. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. I talked myself down a cliff, down a hill, or off a cliff, on a cliff, on a cliff. I talked myself onto a cliff labeled Akamura. And let me know if you guys are on that same cliff with me, because I think it would be so dope if Akamura shows up here. Um but yeah.
We all want him. We
Yeah.
all want the goat.
Yeah. With that, guys, thank you for tuning in. See you guys in 2 weeks for chapter 129. Peace out.
Peace out, peace out.